Get started. So I gave it kind of a clue. I said a sun and a window, and here's what I meant. So I mean, some of y'all may have figured it out. Maybe. We're using Celebrate Sunflowers, and we're also going to be using the dies. So we're going to be using both of these, the dies and the Celebrate Sunflowers. We're also going to be using a window sheet, a couple blends. This is Daffodil Delight, and this is the bronze marker. So Stampin' blend. So I got those two out. We're going to be using some clear embossing powder because I haven't embossed in a long time, so why not? We're going to see if it works again like it did yesterday. Of course, we got our embossing buddy, and we have stays on. So let's go ahead and get ready. All right, so with the window sheet, what we're going to do is we're going to cut this down to 4, I'm going to say, I don't want to be 4 1/8, but we're going to, I don't know, you guys are going to be like, Denise, really? But we're going to do 4 1/16, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up so I can show you guys. It is that little mark right here. There's 4, and it's this little mark right there, and that's the one we want. There's and it's because of how I'm going to lay this out. So we're going to cut it 4 1/16. Okay, put this piece over here. And we're going to do the same thing with this. We're going to do 5, and I think it is 13 16th. And I'm going to pick it up, my trimmer, so I can show you guys a little bit better. But here is the 5 1/2 mark. And you're going to do it, this little mark right next to it. Not the 8th, but this one right here. So it's the 1/2 and then that little mark right there. So we're going to cut that one. Okay. All right, so we're going to get 2 pieces of crumb cake, and I'm going to cut this down to 4 1/8. So 4 1/8. I know, right? Hey, I've used them. I'm going to use them on this card tonight. And 5 3/8. So we're going to cut this one the same way. A piece of early espresso, and this is cut at 11 by 4 1/4. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to score this at 5 1/2. I like a good score line. We're going to cut this down to 3 3/8. Maybe just a little hair shot over. Cut this down to 5/8. Okay. Let's go this way. This way would be easier. 1/2 and then 5/8. On this side, it's a little easier. Okay. And then we're going to cut this one. Oh my gosh, I slept till 8:40, like 8:30, 8:40 this morning. Yeah, I was tired apparently. I don't usually sleep that long. What did I say this one was? 3 3/8. Okay. Yeah, I must have been really tired, and I didn't even really do anything. I think it was just she said I did still in bed. I don't know. I don't think it was just the card. I was telling that to when I dropped the boys off, or dropped Ashton off. I was telling Jennifer that I didn't do a whole lot yesterday like I thought I was going to do, but it seemed like because with everything that was going on, the dedication, the engagement, and all that surprise and all that, I felt like I get off kilter when I get interrupted on something like that. And so, and I never was able to take control of the situation. So it's like I got off, I don't know. I don't know if I was tired or what was going on. So, hello, Lori. So that's what happened. Okay, so now we have our pieces of cardstock. And again, this is, the early espresso is 3 3/8 by 5/8. And then the crumb cake is 3 3/8 by 1/2 inch. And we're going to take this one and we're going to get out our rectangle stitch dies. I know mine's a mess, right? Okay, I'm going to tell you which one it is because it's going to be easy for me to give you the size of it than tell you, oh, you need this one down from the, the 5th one down. So I'm going to measure this for you. Got my little T ruler up all the way against the edge right here. And this one measures about 3 1/2 by, I would say 4 7/8. So that's the one you want. I'm going to get out the magnetic sheet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my cardstock down. And the reason why I'm using the magnetic sheet with this one is because I want this to sit in a certain position. I do not want it to move. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that all my sides around my my border, or all around, is about the same size. It may be off a hair, but you know, just eyeball it. You don't need to get a ruler out. Okay, so let's get the machine out and let's cut this bad boy. So I do want you to know that when you take this out, save this piece. We're going to use this piece actually, but save this piece. Okay, don't throw it away. Use it on another card. I've got 3 of them now. Put this to the side for just a second, and we're going to get out our sheet here. Now I hope this works again. It worked the first time, so we'll see if it works the second time. And I got to get everything ready to make sure it does. If it doesn't completely do, it's okay, because it's just giving it a little bit of look. I don't know why I did this, but I did. This is how I did it. Okay, cleaning that all off. And I'm gonna get just a scrap piece of my grid paper here for this mess. All right, so I'm going to, again, let me get this ready. Clear embossing powder, our embossing buddy, and we're going to, I'm just gonna dab it. I really want this to be, you know, no static, okay? No static. Now you might be thinking, oh, she's making a shaker card. Hold off. I might not. Right now, we're gonna go ahead and get our stamp from Celebrate Sunflowers. We're gonna get this big one here. And we're going to get out, so I need this. We're going to get out our what's this called? We're going to get out our Stamparatus. Couldn't remember the name. Okay, so I'm going to lay, is this the side that what side did I do? Oh shoot, I know what side I did now. I'm just going to take it again, just in case. We'll wipe it off afterwards. So we're going to, oh man, that powder's strong, y'all. We're going to take our, hold your, away from this one. And I'm going to line this up with this 1-inch mark right here in case my, you know, my window sheet moves for any reason. Okay, and I'm going to put this one down here like this. And then we're going to take our sunflower and we're just going to kind of look at it how we want. And we want to go up here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you got your, you know, 3/8. And I'm going to put it up here by the in between the marks on each side. So you want about a block on each side. I'm going to go about right here. So you're wanting 1 block here, which is a 1/4 of an inch, and then 1 block over here. And then this is down about 1, 2, 3, or 2.5 of these little lines right here. So about 5/8 of an inch down, you know. You could probably even go down a little bit, but let's just put it right there. I'm going to adhere that to this, and we're going to get out our StazOn, okay? This is where it's going to get tricky, because I'm hoping this will work again, like I said. So I'm going to ink up my sunflower, okay? I hardly ever use StazOn. I don't know why. Okay, and I'm going to stamp my window sheet. And I am going to press a little hard. And the reason is because when I pick it up, that window sheet's going to stick a little bit and it may pull up. And I want to be able to stamp it. If it needs it again, then I can stamp it up. But I'm just going to push it down just a little bit. Yeah, see? I might even be able to take my spoon and hold it. Oh, there we go. So that worked pretty well. There's this little piece right here. Maybe I can just go like that. Okay, that's not gonna work. That's fine. That works beautifully. Okay, now, real quick, I'm gonna take this, and believe it or not, this and window sheets, man, sometimes it don't mix right. So we're gonna see if I can get it. Whoops, that's not, I didn't want that much. We're gonna see if I can get it to work now. I'm gonna use my sheet here because I'm gonna try to get out as much as I can of that. And you may need to take a little, like a paintbrush. Take a little paintbrush if you think. It's not gonna make a big deal though, so don't worry about it because it is clear. This is, and that's why I used it, was because it was clear. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of go around. You're just gonna feel it. You're not gonna see it or anything like that. You're just gonna kind of feel it. All right, so let's put this up before we turn on our heat tool because we don't want this going everywhere. Heat and acetate don't always play nice together, okay? They're not best friends. They're not even good friends. They're like acquaintances, okay? So, sorry, that was my husband. So you want to be really careful with this. So I would warm your heat tool up first. Like you normally would. And then I would turn it on the back side first and kind of preheat it. And go over the whole thing so it doesn't warp. Yeah, bad acquaintances, right? Okay, and then come over here and you're gonna hold it in one place. Don't move it too much at first. Okay, it's catching. Okay, there we go. You see it? Okay, so now you can move it. You can probably even move it back a little bit. I'm a good 1.5 to 2 inches away. Okay. Turn this around. And just let that catch that end piece right there. Okay, then look at it real quick. Make sure it's all been embossed. Nope, right there. Okay, I'm not going to go over it because I don't want it to warp anymore. Okay, and then I would just go back on the other side again, kind of just so it'll kind of straighten up a little bit. Now, it may be a little warped, okay, but it's not going to be bad. Now, mine, you can see, mine is warped a little bit, but when we put the adhesive down and everything, it will straighten up a little bit, okay? So now, we can take a cloth, if I had one, sitting next to me. Here, I use one of my paint ones. Okay, and I'm just gonna take off some of that embossing buddy so it looks a little bit more clear, okay? We don't want to, you know, a dirty window. Okay. So on the side that's embossed, this is where we're going to get out our Stampin' blends. And we're going to take the, this is Daffodil Delight. And it makes a really pretty color. And we're just going to start coloring. And we're going to stay all in, just this little, you know, the petals. Okay. I was going to try to do something else, but it didn't work out. So I was going to try to do, but no, it didn't work out. You know, so I said, oh, let's just do this. I haven't used this stamp a whole lot. Okay. So it's going to lighten up as it dries a little bit. So just going to kind of show you. See how it, as it dries, it lightens up a little bit. I sure hope that dries and lightens, the rest of it lightens up. Then we're going to take the bronzer. And the reason why I chose this, I did get out the dark suede, but, or I'll show you. It does not, it doesn't color. Oh, well, it does. I guess it does color a little bit. Oh, okay, well, I must have had the light one out then. Who knows? All right, so we're going to take this, and then I'm going to go back with the bronzer. Oh, that just takes it off because it's acetate. I'm just going to pounce it a little bit. Maybe it'll add some color. There we go. Now I can pick that up. Okay. But I did use the bronzer, so use the bronzer. Don't use soft suede, okay? So it looks like that. Now, I think you can take it over here if you want and kind of take some of that ink off right there. It'll kind of lighten it up. I didn't really want it too dark because when it's against here, it'll darken it up. Okay, if you guys can see that. So this is without, and then this is with. So now we're going to take this piece that we did not run through the emboss machine. Oh shoot, don't want to show you all that. Don't want to show you the finished project. And we're going to get out some sticky strip. This is another thing I don't use a whole lot. I don't use the sticky strip as much as I should. I'm always using Fast Fuse because it's just more convenient. But y'all, this is a really good adhesive, okay? How many of you guys use this one? Do you guys use this one? Does anybody not use it? And what I'm going to do, not this, I'm not going to put it on that one. I forgot I'm going to put it on this one. And the reason is because I want to be able to, hold on, we need one more thing. Where's it at? We need our silicone mat. I forgot. Yep, we need our silicone mat. So we're going to take our adhesive, our strip, and we're going to put it right along the edge, right here. And the reason why we're using this, the silicone mat, is because in case it, you know, comes off the edge or something, but we'll be okay. And then we're going to take this one. This is the one where it gets a little small. It was this one. I knew there was one that had, like, for some reason, and this is where I say I didn't measure it. I could have went down with my my framelit, just or you know, made it more even, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt it. It's just a little bit. What did I say? What am I saying? It's tearing tape. This is tearing tape. I don't know what I was saying. I tell you. That's why I list all the measurements and supplies, because sometimes I misspeak, right? I'm just using my fingers to roll this down. Yeah, you can do that, yes. So you can, a great tip that I just got was that when you lay this down, you can take a credit card and like, kind of like lay it right here and then tear it if you want to do that. I just use my fingers. Okay, so I'm gonna take these off. Okay, well, I guess that worked, okay. So on here, these are all lined up, but this one, this is why I used my silicone mat. You may have to, you know, fold this over, your tape over like this. All right, so that's all sticky. So we're gonna lay this back down, and I want the thinner of the bottom, the thinner bottom, to be on this side. You can see it's not perfect, okay? So now we're gonna take our, just making sure that that is pretty clean. I don't want anything on there. And we're gonna take the emboss side is gonna go towards the card. So it's gonna go like this because we want to turn it over. We don't want it like this because it's a little bit duller. See how this is more pretty? So we want the embossed side facing the card. So we're gonna take it, here's the embossed, here's the back of the framelit piece that we cut out, and we're gonna lay this down. And remember, this was just cut like 1/8 of an inch shorter. So you gotta be careful when you're laying it down. Okay, and you want to lay it down really slow so that you can get it to not warp as bad. Okay, there we go. If you have any overhang, like if you laid it down, don't worry. Just get out your paper snips and then trim it. You can just run your paper snips along right there and like that and trim it. So like right here, I could go a little bit, and I'm underneath my paper though. I'm not on the cardstock, but look, seriously, it was just that little bit, so don't worry about it. Okay. Now we're going to take this, and we're going to take our tear and tape once again, and we're going to use it on this side because we need to seal it right to the other side. So we're going to take this and be real careful. You do not want to go on your window. That is, they're going to be looking at. So be really careful. You could use your Stampin' Steel and roll it down here and use your silicone mat, and just make sure that when you roll it, it's not going past this, and then you'll have some overhang. And again, you can just pick it up like that. Okay. And you could make this into a shaker card and use the foam strips. I just did not want it to be a shaker card. I kind of wanted the look, but I didn't want the shaker part. And now remember, this whole piece is the same as this piece. So we're gonna, I'm gonna start backwards because it helps me. And I'm gonna line this up as well as I can. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna stand it up because remember, this is all got, this whole thing's got adhesive. So once you stick, it's down. So I'm gonna hold it in my hand like this. And I'm gonna lay these down corner to corner and make sure that it's all laid down. And then I'm slowly gonna take this side and lay it down. Maybe use my fingers, okay? And go like that. Now, you can see it's still warped a little bit, okay? But not too bad. So when we take out our early espresso, remember this is cut at 11 by 4 1/4 and then scored at 5 1/2. So let me get my foam folder out. And then here, you can use tear and tape, but let's not make it too miserable on ourselves. And let's just use Stampin' Seal. You can, and I'm gonna go all the way. I know you don't have to use a whole lot of this, but because of the, you know, the warpedness of the card or the image and stuff, the window sheet, I'm gonna go all the way around. And I'm even gonna do some long strips in the middle. I'm gonna do 3 to be exact. This is just gonna really hold it down and not make it warp so bad. This is, you're gonna lay this down just like a normal mat. That's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. You're gonna lay that down like that. And this is what you got so far. We gotta put our sentiment on there, but this is what you got so far, okay? So it creates a really nice look to this, like you're looking through a window at a sunflower. See where I got the sun, wind, window, you get it? Now we're gonna take our 1/2 inch of crumb cake, and this is cut at 1/2 inch by 3 3/8, right? Yep, 3 3/8. And we're going to get out Thanks a Bunch. We're gonna get early espresso. And we're going to stamp this up. Now, when I stamped the first time on the first card, it stamped beautifully. So we're gonna see if I can do it again. And here's what I've learned. I just learned this, y'all. I've said this before. You want technical terms and all that, you can go see Miss Ruth and Miss Ellen and Esther and all of them. I don't have all those technical terms. I just create. That's just who I am. But, so I'm sure somebody learned this a long time ago, but I just now learned this. See the line right here at the bottom that says thanks? I've always taken where the rubber meets at the end right here and moved my sentiment up. So I would, you know, have to stamp it more than once because it wouldn't line up. But what I've learned is, and I can't because of light, is I'm going to put this line just a little hair below. Just see how that's on there. And hopefully it's going to stamp. This 1/2 inch is going to be enough. I'm just trying because I can't see the light. There you go. Look at that. And this will fit. Now normally I would have went up a little bit and that would have been hanging off of it. Ellen said, me technical? No. You are more than me. Take our adhesive. And here you don't have to put a, you know, a big long strip. You can just put a little piece on each end. And Ruth said, since when? Okay, and then I'm going to line these up because they're going to be the same size, lengthwise. And just lay that down like that. So I had a little overhang on this, but that's okay. You just get your paper snips out and just lay it against your other piece and trim it off, and it'll be straight every time. Now before I put adhesive on here, I want to make sure this is going to lay in between the pieces. Yes, it's going to lay right here just on the window sheet. Okay, so we have our adhesive a little bit on each end. I put a little bit more because on the window sheet. And I'm going to go down about here. I'm going to leave about 1/4 inch down here below. And just put that just like that. Now it is warping a little bit, but maybe after a while it'll calm down. And if it doesn't, it's not too bad. It's not a big deal. But here are my two. So this one you can see, I just used the bronzer. And this one even looks a little bit lighter than this one. Okay. But I put that soft suede and then I went back and I put more, you know, of the bronzer. So it made a little bit darker center on this, which is a more true truer sunflower. So just kind of, you know, keep adding it a little bit. Just be patient with it. All right, and there is your 2 cards. What do y'all think about this card? Y'all like this? So again, here's what we used. Well, we didn't even use this, but let me tell you about this real quick. We did use the Celebrate Sunflowers, and then we used the rectangle dies, okay, which you guys will be able to purchase. I'll have all the supplies and measurements listed down below, okay? You could use the framelits, and here's the idea that I had afterwards, okay? Let me open this up. So we have these like little really pretty leaves on here, these dies, and we have the stamps right here, okay? Let me put this over there. And we even have these little pieces here. You could, if you wanted to, run this on some cardstock. You can pick like maybe the Daffodil Delight if you wanted to, or even I would probably do like a darker color, like maybe the Bumblebee. Or the paper pumpkin, I'm not sure. And then you could add a little pieces right here. Move this over just a little bit, if you could do that, and have like 2 pieces sticking out here on the outside like that, okay? But you want to still be able to see that. Maybe we'll do that real quick. Y'all want me to see? Y'all want me to try it and see what it looks like? I'm not going to hear it, but let's see what it looks like. This will kind of break up some of all of this brown, okay? So let's run this through the machine. Tell you what you could even do after this, but let's just kind of lay this down like this, and put this down. Another color you could use on here is you could actually, I want it kind of like this. I don't want it too apart. What do y'all think? You could even use maybe like a mossy meadow or something instead of this, because the stalks of, you know, like the sunflower are a green, right? Or some type of green. So you could even do that. Definitely stepping it up a little bit. So you have this one, and then you have this one. So let's take the old olive, and let's do the same. Oh, I think I might like this one better. And add to it. I'm just kind of laying it down a little bit. Okay. I'm going to put this one with this one and just kind of show you. Does make for a long day. Yes, I think so too. I think that the old olive looks better than the Bumblebee, but it is a preference. So let's just take this out of shot, and you've got this one, okay? Now you take that out of shot, and you have this one without putting them next to each other to compare, but so you've got this one right here. So some might like this one, and then some might like this one, and then some might like it just completely off, okay? But I think we're going to use the old olive. You could take these, because when you go to a pumpkin farm and they have the sunflowers and stuff like that, or even a sunflower farm, you know, it's all dirty. The green is kind of, you know what I mean? They're in a field, right? And the wind's blowing, a little dirt might get on it, and they're, you know, it's Mother Nature, or God's creation, actually. God's creation is that it's not just a single color. All the colors live harmoniously on one leaf. Just saying, everybody. Okay, so you can edge it just a little bit. God loves colors. That's why he made everything so colorful. What you're doing basically is you're just giving it a little bit of depth. Okay. All right. Like this. All right, and lay this down. So now you can see them both with a little bit of color. Okay, on here. So we just edged it just a tiny bit, kind of broke it down a little bit. So we have this one over here. Let's see if we can put. Okay, so we have this one here with a little bit of edging and stuff like that. If you guys can see, maybe I need to pick it up. See if I can pick it up without, since it's not adhered yet. And add kind of that look. See that? And then we have this one with the old olive, and a little bit of sponging. I don't know if you guys can really see the sponging. It's just a tad on there like that. Okay, in that window sheet. You're welcome. Okay. I don't think I have much. Okay. So I hope you guys like these cards that we made tonight. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for being a part of my Vlogtober. I want to thank you guys for stopping by today and viewing and, you know, hanging out with me. All right. Have a good night or a good week. Talk to you later. Bye.